Thank you, Mr Chair. I'm delighted to participate in this debate today, and I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to the Honourable Member for Paisley and Renfrewshire North for bringing this debate forward in order to expose the mis-selling of energy-efficient products under the UK Government's Green Deal programme, Helms, which has affected many of my constituents in North Ayrshire and Arran. Indeed, we've heard today, Mr Chair, we all have constituents who have been victims of this mis-selling, who have been caused considerable anxiety, stress and financial loss as a result of this scandal. And a scandal is what it is. And the UK Government, as we've heard from every member today who's spoken, really needs to step up and take responsibility. There's no denying the fact that this scheme was government-backed. But it turns out that the wider regulatory provisions failed to ensure that this deal was fit for purpose. So what is required is for the UK Government to put in place a compensation scheme for all those consumers who have been left out of pocket, and there are many. We now have a situation where some homeowners, as we've heard, were taken in by this scheme and left unable to sell their homes. They were not making savings they were told they would make. That's all come to nothing. In fact, some have been left, as we've heard, with higher bills than they had before. Work carried out has often been substandard. Building warrants, as we've heard, for wall cladding has not been obtained, with those consumers affected having to pay for retrospective warrants at 300% of the cost of a normal building warrant, or having to pay for corrective works done, as building standards will not issue a warrant if they deem the work has not been done properly. And we have constituents who are not in a feed-in tariff because they were not registered prior to March 2016. Far too many people now face the prospect of monthly repayments for finance deals with extensive payback periods in excess of 20 years. How can this possibly be acceptable? Now, I am pleased that the Honourable Ladies, that the Minister of State, the Honourable Lady's colleague, assured me in a debate on the 10th of October that she would ask her officials to look at these loan arrangements. And in that debate, she pointed out, and I quote, "The Green Deal was designed to unlock the issue of persuading people to improve the energy efficiency measures of their homes. Currently, all contracts are covered by existing consumer protection, but as a second action point," she went on, "I undertake to go away and review this specific company and will write to her with the state of progress on those conversations." And I very much and very eagerly await that letter with great anticipation. But I'm sure the Minister today can see that far from, quote, unlocking the issue of persuading people to improve the energy efficiency of their homes, this scandal has undoubtedly set that cause back considerably, which is in no one's interest. However, the Government could do much to mitigate the distrust that has been sown, the alarm that has been caused, and the financial loss that those caught up in this scandal feel. This issue, Mr Chair, we've heard, is very complex, but in another sense, it's also very, very simple. The UK Government-backed scheme has led to ordinary consumers facing huge difficulties, and it is incumbent, there is a moral imperative for the UK Government to put this right. What this debacle shows is that the UK Government system of regulation is simply not fit for purpose. Consumers did not have protection under the law that they are entitled to expect, and that needs to be addressed. Those consumers who inadvertently and unwittingly signed over their feed-in tariffs must have them returned. So today, what those who have suffered in this Helms fiasco want to know is very simple. Is the Government going to step up, or is it going to leave those who trusted this Government-backed scheme floundering in debt, floundering in hardship and floundering in despair? And I urge the Minister today to do the right thing and help the people who have been let down, misled and swindled by this scheme. Thank you.